Hello, fellow watchers and enjoyers. Ash and Piggy here, back again, bring you another edition of Watching Walford. It's episode 88, and today's episode is going to cover the biggest storylines and takeaways from week 32 of 2024. There's only 20 weeks left. 20 weeks of 2024, and all the episodes are going to be from the 2nd of September all the way to the 5th of September 2024. Now, the main topics we're going to be talking about this week are, and let's be real, it's two small topics and the six. Charlie's birthday party. Good old young child Charlie has turned 1 year old. Amy wakes up in the hospital. And, of course, the six take the stand. Linda admits to killing Keanu. And Dean admits to the sexual assault. That is the main topic. That's pretty much all we're going to be talking about at that 30-minute mark once we've finished shooting the shit. But as always, it is the podcast. First 30 minutes are us talking, shooting the shit, just, saying whatever the fuck we want. And then from that point onwards, from 30 minutes onwards, we talk about the EastEnders for however long we need to, usually about half an hour to 45 minutes, depending on how busy the week has been. But how have you been, mate? How's your week been?
My week's been good. Sorry, I'm just... there's this album I found called, it's by Bato Di Sigla. I think that's how you say his name. He basically, does Blink songs, but on the piano, and I'm like, oh. There's some Blink songs actually fucking, slap on the piano. It makes it more depressing, but it works. It's like I'm listening to all
Sometimes you just need a bit of the depressing, Sometimes it hits different. It's like, have you ever seen... Oh, fuck, what's his name? Have you seen the old man who plays acoustic guitar and sings in like a gravelly voice on YouTube?
I have not, sadly, no.
Is he called is he like John Watkins or some shit? He is not. Who the fuck is this guy? Frank Watkinson. He is a British, he's like 70s, 80s roughly. He plays acoustic guitar and he sings in his own way. He doesn't say, he's not like fucking, tonight will be the night I will fall for you over again. Obviously, he's not doing that. He's an old man. He's got a gravelly voice. He's singing it. He's more soulful in a way. He doesn't belt it out. It's more like a quiet kind of thing. So everything he does sounds really sad. Everything he does sounds sad. But he is a really cool old man who just belts out some fucking tunes. He also does songs, and people think into the titles that much. He did his own song called "This Could Be My Last Song." It's an original song, and then still in the title is just a title, not about me. He just seems like a lovable, earnest old man, and he is fantastic. He did the Adventure Time cover. He did the Adventure Time song. He did On Melancholy Hill by the Gorillaz.
Oh.
He did Snuff by Slipknot. He did Hurt by Johnny Cash. Chasing Cars. Did Hallelujah. Fuck it. He's got... I'll send you a link, if anybody hasn't seen this guy. Fucking... His videos... You know when you find yourself just going down a rabbit hole and you go, I have the chance to stop this before it goes too far. Well, I happily just went, I'm in. I started covering dirt over myself. Like, fuck it. I'm in. I'm in the rabbit hole. Fucking great. I hope he doesn't come out to be a creep or something, but he seems like an honest, earnest older man who... he has that old man, I've been married for 30 years kind of jokes. It's great stuff. Love him.
I sometimes you just need the piano or acoustic version of a song. Just listen to Always. Just oh fuck, because Always is a brilliant song. if Adam's song is on this playlist in the piano, I'm gonna fucking cry because Adam's song is one of the best
Just-
Blink songs. I don't care. It's a depressing. Well, it's not depressing. It's just like a very sad song in general.
it is depressing. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I'm like, oh no. Because I have that in my. I have a photograph that says, "Please tell mum it's not her fault." I have that in my jacket. So if my mom, so if I ever commit suicide and like, if
in
I
a
ever,
video game.
in a video game, if I ever commit suicide, like, and they find my jacket, like, it's just there's a photo saying, "Please tell my mom figure it's not her fault." Just like, yeah, that's very depressing to start it off. Very depressing. Did you ever just want
About
to
5 minutes into the podcast, casual.
Do you ever just want to commit suicide, guys? Do you ever just want to fucking?
Yeah. How are you gonna get out of that little fucking hole?
So we've seen the Amazing Spider-Man 2, and so we're gonna go through our thoughts on it. We were talking off camera about it, but it's nice to see our thoughts on it. Just to put them on screen. So I'll start with you because you love the Amazing Spider-Man films, or prefer them over me.
I mean, they were the ones I watched growing up the most personally. It's the Andrew Garfield version, so have slightly sexier Spider-Man. He's a bit more. If Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, he's never blowing his beans. He's never blowing his beans. He's always perpetually on the edge of blowing his beans, but he never fully gets to immerse himself in the blowing. But this Peter Parker fucks, and he fucks hard, and he fucks all night. And you get rid of the nerdy, well, it's still awkward. He's still awkward because it's still a part of the character, but it's more funny awkward rather than annoying, like fucking 4 movies of this shit awkward. But it's a good set of movies. It's obviously marred by it clearly got fucking shot in the foot, where it's like, oh, zig me a third one. No, yeah, what? Why, guys? Why didn't you fucking tell us? We set up a third movie a lot. Nah, great. Cheers, guys. Now we just look like dicks for fucking setting up this big fuck off third movie that never happens. The Amazing Spider-Man movies, they're probably not technically the best. It's got a lot of cool Spider-Man action. Like this one makes Spider-Man look really fucking fun and cool to beat. But it's also the most tragic one because he just keeps getting fucking shit in his face, no matter what. It's like, oh, you doing all right? You doing all right, P? You doing all right? Dead. What? Yeah. Oh, you doing all right? Yeah, having a good time. Dead. So what? And now, obviously, the ultimate scene in. Well, the major scene into spoilers is obviously the love interest Gwen Stacy dying, and they have incredible chemistry. It also helps that the actors were together at that time, and I'm pretty sure they were married for a while. So they had this electric, intense. Guys, should I just stand outside whilst you guys just fuck or something? Jesus Christ! Like, I'm watching, but I feel like I'm in the wrong. And I kind of enjoy where it ends. It would have been tragic if we didn't get No Way Home, where you have all of them.
Yeah.
Where you don't get to see how it transpired, but this Spider-Man is the most grief-stricken. And it's kind of incredible in a ridiculously tragic way. But they also try to rehash a lot of stuff from the original that doesn't really work at all, and they probably should have just... It's like how they didn't have enough quality control, where it's like, oh, should we do this? No, you shouldn't. We're doing it. Why? Why are you doing it? Yeah, because it'll remind everybody of the original. Yeah, but these are worse than the originals. You don't want to be reminded of them. Yeah, well, we're doing it anyways, and we're going to do it better. It's like, well, that's not true. But yeah, I mostly just have a vested interest in them because I watched them a lot growing up. I used to rewatch the first 2 Spider-Man series of movies quite religiously, and never really did it for the 3rd trilogy. But yeah, well, what do you think of Amazing Spider-Man 2 in cinema?
I liked it in cinema. My dad elbowed me because when Stacey died, I just went, oh, like I let out a little tear. My dad went,
I didn't.
he just fucking went, no. And then I fucking made him shit himself because you know the scene with the planes where they nearly crash into each other. Obviously, he's going over to England next year, so I nudged him and I went, "That's going to happen to you on the plane to England."
Whew, thank God. Didn't know where that was going.
Uh,
That was fun.
and then like I went, and then you know that little kid at the end because my dad wears glasses. So I went, "There's you, Dad." And he went, "Yeah, well the rhino was there, and that was fucking you, son." I went, thank you. We can make fun of each other. I like the film. The film is good. Fuck, I can't say film anymore because I just think Ash is gonna say I just like I'm saying Venom.
Venom.
Film.
It just reminds me of my granddad because he was a Geordie. Time to put film on, and he'd laugh in the most ridiculous way. I can't even really do it justice, but like it's fucking hell, what is that? What is that laugh? He's dead now, of course.
No.
Never be able to ask him.
No. Well, we could Luigi board to get him back. But the film, like I love the film's all right. It just struggles to me in some aspects because you're looking at it from the perspective, right? There's going to be a third one, and they're setting up all the scenes for the third and fourth, and it's like, oh.
I think it proves who's been watching the most soaps over the years. Tragedy. Fucking oh no, I can't. Oh God. Oh, bloody hell! Have another dose of tragedy for me. I was like, no, it's too sad.
Yeah, I did. Like, it is a bit depressing, but I understand why they're going with it. I understand where they're going with it because obviously the Sam Raimi ones were all happy and joyous. This one you want to be a bit more grounded and a bit more serious. So I understand that. I think Andrew Garfield is probably the best Spider-Man, not the best Peter Parker, but the best Spider-Man. And I think he was great. He was just in a bit of a bad writing of films. Because like there's a lot of I can tell Mark Webb probably had a lot of ideas, and then Sony went, doesn't work for me, brother. So they had to. Oh, I was just saying that like Mark Webb probably had a lot of ideas, and
Sony, it feels like there was a lot of interference.
Yeah, because Sony is how I can describe it.
Guys, can you put Green Goblin in there? All right, we put Green Goblin in there. Why? No. We wanted Green Goblin. That's little weenie Goblin Junior. Fucking loser.
Like obviously, Sony, because from my knowledge, Sony pretty much wanted most of the control over how Spider-Man should be written in the Mark Webb films. Obviously, when it goes back to Kevin Feige, well, no, I know Kevin Feige was involved for the Amazing Spider-Man, but when it becomes more of a Marvel film, like connected to the MCU, I know that like Sony do have control of like, just put a bit of advertising there for Sony, do that. But they're not like, we need to see Tom Holland's dick. Like they're not like that. They're just they don't have any input as much in comparison.
Shame. If that's what they're no.
But obviously, I know originally Andrew Garfield was supposed to come back in Madam Web, but I don't think he's seen the script. He just went, no, I'm not coming back. And I went, that is a pretty good idea because imagine him in Madam Web. He would have been the shining star in that shit film.
Quite like these two, really.
Yeah. Because Sony want their own Spider-Man, but don't want their own Spider-Man. Does that make sense? They want a Spider-Man in the universe to fight Venom and Craven and all that. At the same time, they don't. They want Tom Holland, but they don't want Tom Holland. So they're like, can we have Tom Holland but not Tom Holland? So you want Andrew Garfield? Yes. And then they approach the actor, and the actor has to fuck off. So yeah, there's a lot of that behind the scenes. But I think it struggles with like the writing, but that's not Mark Webb's fault. I want to see the original script where they actually like, where it's like, okay, this is what we had planned before Sony started putting their fingers in the pie. But I don't really like them, but I understand why people think they're great, or I think they're underrated in a sense.
Yeah.
But I am a fan of Andrew Spider-Man after seeing it. I'm just not a fan of the films, really, but that's not here or there. Like, they are good, but I don't know what I want from them, is the thing. I don't know what I want from Spider-Man.
I suppose the difference is I never had any issue with the length of either. I thought it was still quite good. But also, at the end of the day, you don't really know how to feel after it. Oh, this is nice, cool, great. Oh, it's over, it's all over, and she's dead. And you're like,
See,
what?
my problem with
What do I do?
my problem with 2's ending is Gwen dies, right? Yeah, keep that in. That would be perfectly fine. And then it's like the funeral. Yeah, keep that in. Yeah, you could literally recreate the end of Spider-Man 1 or 2, where Toby's like,
Also, fuck me, the amount of Spider-Man movies that end in a fucking funeral. It doesn't end. There's always a funeral at the end.
but you know what I mean? They could just have the funeral where it's like Andrew's like, what do I get? Nothing. And then the post
I
credit.
also I like how for some reason it's like, all right, Electro's dead. He's dead, and Electro's a shite villain as well. He's really weird and doesn't really get fleshed out at all. Nobody really gets fleshed out except Peter and Gwen, which is probably what they should have made the movie, but they didn't because. And oh fuck! With that tangent, I forgot where I was going with this. Oh yeah, Electro's dead. It's over. Oh, and the Goblin's here. What? Yeah, and he's gonna drop her into the clock tower, and she dies. Oh, great. Cheers.
Like the
Like
problem.
if it was involved in the exit, it would make more sense. But it didn't really, and a lot of the motives were kind of really weak. It's like, I need you, Electro. Get me into Oscorp. So you should fucking walk in there, can't you? You're not that fucking blackballed yet. You've been covertly removed from Oscorp, and yet you don't need help breaking in, you mad bastard. Anyways.
But as I was saying, like I'd keep, if you're doing it, keep Gwen's death, have the funeral, and then the post-credit scene be Richard Parker confronting Peter Parker to set up a possible third film, because the original plan for the third film was he's obviously alive, he was gonna help bring Gwen back, he was gonna try and bring Captain Stacy back, I think, and that was gonna lead into the Sinister Six film between Amazing Spider-Man versus the Sinister Six two-parter. That was gonna lead to a Venom 2016 film. And then that also leads to a Gwen Stacy film as Spider-Gwen, or whatever you want to call her. That also then leads to the Amazing Spider-Man versus Spider-Man in 2020, where Andrew Garfield fights.
I don't know. It's just the amount of absurd, the shit that didn't happen.
This is all leaked in a Sony email. This is fucking funny.
It's an absolute case of fumble in the bag.
Like
they probably could have done it. They really could have. They just never did they?
I would have loved to see like what it would have looked like if Toby and Andrew fought. Like I would have fucking loved to see that. What it would have been like. I know we've seen it in No Way Home, but still, I would have like a team up of kind of like Deadpool and Wolverine twin-esque. But yeah, that was the original plan. But yeah, I would have just kept Gwen's death. Don't include the Rhino bit. Have that be a post-credit scene. Have that if you want it. Have two post-credit scenes. One where Richard Parker confronts Peter Parker, tells him with great power comes great responsibility. You should be Spider-Man should be fighting for the city. And then that set up the second post-credit scene where he fights the Rhino. And if you want, you can have then the teaser of this is the Sinister Six, Doc Ock, Green Goblin, fucking, and whoever else you're bringing out. That's how you end the film, and then you set up the third one. But no, they went, yeah, Gwen Stacy dies, Peter's sad, here's the Rhino, and it's like, that's not how it should end. The ending should be him at the funeral, because you're adding too much to the ending. Does that make sense? I might sound stupid, but that's like, I understand like you want emotion.
If there's one thing Piggy understands, it's Spider-Man.
To an extent.
But yeah,
it's just
I think with all that aside, pretty good. It's very enjoyable. It's cool that I've been able to see it in cinema. Honestly, after I finish watching all these in cinema, I'm probably just putting Spider-Man to bed for a while. Like, I'll probably watch the animated one, like Into the Spider-Verse. Probably watch them, and I'll put a nice little bow on it and not fucking touch it for years.
Until Spider-Man 4 comes out.
Fuck up, not now.
Comes out in 2025. Fuck. Sony apparently want to rush out Spider-Man 4 because they're like, Madam Web failed.
Sony.
Madam Web failed. Quick, get Tom Holland in that spandex, boy. Get him in that fucking spandex.
Yeah, I suppose now I reckon it's about time we actually talk about how our week's been, what we've been up to, what we've been working on, etc., etc. Oh, it's been good. It's been a nice little week off once again. It's been different from the previous week off that we had, where I was playing Football Manager all week. But this one's been a lot more chill, farting around, not really doing too much. But it's been needed because you know when you get a bit overstimulated, you're not able to enjoy everything the same way as you usually would. That's where I was at, and especially considering now we are heading into the busiest period on soap of the year. We're heading into the build up till Christmas, then Christmas, but also in this time period, you now have Hollyoaks is doing its fucking time jump a year ahead in about 2 weeks. We have this. I think this is the last week of 5 episodes or something. It might be next week. It will have already come out of at that time. Obviously, the ITV soaps have a big deal where in September, October-ish, at the tail end of that Britain's Got Talent, when it airs its final week, there's a big like stunt week that I'll probably cover on the channel. Been fucking busy. And I've also been trying to do that scripted content, which still is very slowly being plucked away at because I can't seem to stick to one project at a time. But it's been good, and it'll be nice to get back to normal. Obviously, we'll start working on all the Christmas stuff. And yeah, how's your week been?
My week's been good. Like, I'm excited to work on the Christmas stuff, don't get me wrong. Because Christmas is a fun time of year when you're doing it with a friend. That sounds depressing, but that's how I feel. Like, I didn't really like Christmas, but like, they're doing it with Watching Walford. It's fun because we get to meet up in like November, fucking hang out for a few days. I wear my Christmas shirt. Ash goes, guys, I don't know this fucker. Please don't look at me in Weatherspoons. Fuck off. I don't know this bat in a Christmas shirt in November. And then obviously I'll fuck off back to Ireland. Ash will have all the Christmas content edited, and then December should just be fine. Obviously our busiest day of the year is obviously Christmas Day because, well, mine is just I eat dinner, I sleep, I wake up, record the EastEnders, watch the EastEnders live. And Ash is he goes to his mother's house and then just has Christmas dinner, comes home.
Yeah, big old family celebration. Yeah, it's obviously not thinking about that yet, but obviously we're thinking about the build-up. What do we want to do that's special this year, you know? We did a big effort last year. No one really gave a shit last year, but fuck it, it was fun anyways. It was still enjoyable nonetheless. So, yeah.
I feel like...
I mean, it's nice that we get to share, like, a Christmas experience. Because if you're like me, most of the big like holidays were never really celebrated too much. So it's like birthdays. They've been trying to make birthdays this year a bit more fun. And you know, my one brother's birthday was like this last week, and we tried to make it an actually like nice proper day or two of actually trying to celebrate the day rather than just, you know. I always joke that the love language is me being happy that you're still alive, you know? Actually trying to celebrate things because, you know, there's a lot of days in a year and a lot of them don't mean anything. But if just one day or just a couple days a year can mean something, you know, you make some memories of it. But it also means at some point I'm going to be watching the extended trilogy of Lord of the Rings, which I'm also looking forward to.
Oh, mate, on the extended edition, good fucking luck. Good luck there. I watched it in cinema and I told Ash, if you want to watch it in cinema, go ahead. but just know, don't do a back-to-back. Don't raw dog it and do back-to-back. You'll be fucked. I watched one on Saturday and Sunday, and by the end of Sunday, I'm just like, get me out, lads. I don't know what that is, but I'm just like, fucking
crawling out.
Just grabbing onto the seat. Also, I forgot to mention, in the Amazing Spider-Man 2 screen last night, when we're watching it, I should say screen 3 is literally small. Just imagine from my wardrobe to here. That's about the length of the screen. These 4 lads came in. They're about 14, 15. They're like messing around. They threw popcorn on the floor, which I'm like, clean up after yourselves, you dirty wankers. But anyways, on one of the times the lad was bursting
Like an old man yells at cloud.
For one of the times, one of the lads were bursting for a piss, so he ran out. They came back in. The lads wouldn't move their legs or stand up to let him by, so he fell over, and he accidentally slapped a woman on top of the head in front of him. and it was like a child who's like 10. It's just like, oh. But yeah, Lord of the Rings trilogy, the extended edition. I've seen the extended editions. They're great movies. They're a bit long, but they are great. So I've never seen the theatrical cut. I butchered that, but I've never seen the original version.
Yeah, same.
Have you ever seen
I've seen bits of all of them, and I've seen them enough to know what happens. But yeah, I was like the fucking girl I've been chatting to. It's like, oh yeah, got extended trilogy, to watch with my brother. I might do it over a couple of days. Pussy. What? What do you mean? I've done it all in one. Fucking do it in one. Pussy.
Pussy and
fucking hell. No, it should be fun. I'm looking forward to doing that at some point. Watched a bit of The Wire, and The Wire's obviously seen the first season of The Wire's seen as one of the best fucking series of TV of all time. Watched a bit of The Shield. Been collecting a bit of physical media, some actual physical discs and shit. Because it's a weird thing where we're at a stage where you don't really own any of the shit yet. You don't really own half the shit. I own all these games on Steam. Yeah, but if Steam goes down, all the games are gone. So it's been kind of weird because obviously in the streaming era, there's a big push against physical media. But, it's one of those things where I feel like most people go through that transition where at some point you'd have the money, you're like, fuck it, why not?
I mean, I love physical
because what's to say they don't start fucking editing bits out? This could be complete bollocks, but wasn't it a thing where they just started editing the bits out in the early seasons of Stranger Things that they didn't like?
I think so, yeah.
And there's always a chance they do that. If someone involved in any of these shows did something problematic, that episode's fucking gone. It's the right time to get some physical media.
That's right, because one of my favourite Simpsons episodes is Stark Raven Dad, which is obviously a guy who thinks he's Michael Jackson. He's obviously played by Michael Jackson. He thinks he's Michael Jackson, and then basically Matt Groening came out and went, no, we're not airing that episode ever again. I'm putting on streaming services. And then honestly, what fucking buckled me, I understand now, I'm gonna say, all alleged. What buckled me is, Michael Jackson we all know he's alleged, but Matt Groening has allegedly been on Epstein's Island, and he apparently got a foot massage. No, Ash, I need you to listen to this bit. He apparently got a foot massage, right? But in the document where they list all the names, they specifically said he had smelly feet. Why would you include that bit? P.S. He had stinky feet. Fucking loser. Fucking.
It's like one time I seen there was a big, I think it was I don't know if it was a Reddit thread or something, but it was a guy talking about how he worked for private security for the island. And it ended up being a really interesting one where he told a bunch of awful stories about how fucking awful it was, but he was being paid really well. So what was he to say no?
I mean, yeah, if you're paid well, you might as well do your job. But yeah, physical media.
Absolutely set him to be mental though. Fucking that's no way to live at all. The amount of shit that he'd probably seen is absurd. But was an interesting story nonetheless. But there we are. We've hit the 30-minute mark. Any final pressing comments?
I'm just going to say on physical media, I love physical media. My granddad used to collect a lot of physical media, but obviously we've sold most of it since he died. So he did collect pretty much a lot of.
Well, yeah, that's just because he was buying up fucking Big Busty Babes 3. Didn't even have the first two.
I don't know if I
Fucking, he's got it out of sequence. Can't even get the full story.
I don't know if I've ever told you this story, but have you ever had them lads who ever came to your door, like they're a bit drunk, like they come to sell you gaff, like they come to sell your stuff. This guy obviously knocked on the door, we let him in, so he walks into the sitting room, he's a bit drunk, and he goes, he looks at my father and he goes, "Hey you, do you want a bit of blue movies or do you, pal? I've got some in the back of me van," and my dad's like, "It better not be homemade, yeah. Better not be homemade. Don't you fucking worry." It's that. My dad went, "I do not want anything. Thank you." It's just like, I'm sat
Why'd
there.
you let him in?
He just walked in. We opened the door and he's like, "Let me in."
Fuck that. Fuck that. Get out of my fucking house.
He opened the door and he went, "Can I come in?" And we went, "Alright, come in." It's just, that's how he walked in, like he stumbled in drunk. It was funny. But yeah, physical media is great to collect. That's my closing thoughts. Like, collect physical media if you want. It will be great. I feel like VHSs might come back in this style.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, without further ado,
I mean, at some point, I will be back to. At some point, I will start collecting a bunch of horror memorabilia. It's just I have too hard of a time deciding to part way with my money. So
there's a horror.
But like at some point, I'm gonna collect a shit ton of horror stuff. Love horror.
There's a horror T-shirt that I really want you to buy, or I'll buy for you. Where it's like the Fight Club, like logo, or the two men, but it's like Freddy and Jason, where it's like Horror Club, and I'm like, Ash would like that T-shirt.
Pretty good.
It's probably one of them China, like shirts made in China, like but they're only paid like 15 cents, but it's a great T-shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I think without further ado, we'll do the EastEnders now. I think Ash.
It is about time.
I think Ash is looking for the shirt. He's like, "Fuck it."
Yeah, it's fucking. All right, let's talk about the EastEnders. Oh, hold on. Talk about the EastEnders. So once again, the main topics are got to be Charlie's birthday party, Amy wakes up in hospital, and of course the Six take the stand. But the thing that we thought was going to be the 40th anniversary, nah, it's happened a bit earlier. So yeah, Charlie's birthday party Tuesday, and the actual birthday Wednesday. Lily is still angry at Stacey for not paying attention, but she doesn't understand how important the Six trial is. Sookie upsets Eve by choosing the Six over Charlie's birthday party as the Six scramble to find Linda's whereabouts. As the Slaters sing, Lily hugs Stacey and claims she just wants everyone who lumps Charlie in the same room. Then Lily is angry at Stacey for missing Charlie's party, but at the end of the week, they have a nice little moment where it's like, you're always there when it matters, you know. And then Stacey gives her this really nice like photo album of all the memories of Charlie's first year, and it's quite wholesome and quite sweet. And then that's the birthday party. Do you remember what song Kat was singing?
No, I've no fucking clue.
Fuck.
I could pull up the scene if you want me to.
Our house in the middle of our street. No, I don't know what the fuck it was. It's fine.
I wanted to.
Yeah, but when I think about it, I just remember Christmas 2018 where she's singing something, but she's just crying. It's like, Kat. Kat, please make it stop.
What would you do if they did a little shout out to the Aunt Day Twitter account and they fucking had her sing the Big Mo song? Like the song they used for the Big Mo edit?
Fuck's sake. But yeah, next small little topic. Wake's been hospital. We learn that she may need to be in a wheelchair for now. Chelsea snaps at Denise for being distracted with a court trial looming, but Denise sees Chelsea checking up on the other victims at Peggy's, and she suspects that Chelsea's looking a bit sus. Amogus. Jack isn't allowing Penny to see Amy, and Denise catches Chelsea feeling awful and hopeless. She forces Chelsea to admit that it was her. She caused the crush. She lets it all out how she wanted Penny to pay for actions for stealing her job. She feels pathetic and is worried that she can never come clean. Then it parallels Denise lying to save the Six. Do you do it to save your family? But Denise kind of goes, Well, we don't get to this point yet, but they need Denise at the court, so she has to fuck off. Chelsea's like, what am I going to do?
Cry.
Jack calls Denise about some news about Amy. She has an infection. Everyone rushes over. When Jack sees them, he realizes he may have over-exaggerated. Amy wants to speak to Penny, and she says there may have been a problem with the tickets sold, but they blame Penny. But Penny believes her getting in the way is her fault, and that's not okay. But Amy doesn't hold it against her and says we all make mistakes. Denise tries to get Chelsea to understand. Look, as much as telling the truth is the right thing to do, if you both go down for it, both parents will be locked up. But also, if you don't come clean, it'll be lie after lie after lie, and you'll be in so deep that you won't know how to fucking deal with it.
God, I just want to say, I think it's Sum 41. They ruined In So Deep for me, like the term In So Deep, because I just think of it, I'm in too deep. I'm just like, oh no, not the song, please. But yeah, I loved this little small section. I should just fix it too. Ooh. I did love this little small section. These little two small sections. Where like we obviously have Charlie's birthday and like Kat was giving it tits. Sadly, no Big Mouth throwing shapes. Like I really wanted her to throw some shapes.
Yeah, it is true.
We desperately missed the Big Mouth throwing shapes, lads. Scene.
I mean, I really just wanted to throw it back. I'll be real with you.
For real.
Just hit that fucking break that back, Mo. It'll be worth it.
I bet Falvis breaks that back.
Be like Linda from Bob's Burgers.
You mean how I dance? Also a comment that I need to bring up that Ash buckled me on was I jokingly said I said to him I was trying to sneak into the private opening of McDonald's, and he said you can't sneak in anywhere. You're like Mr. Blobby, and I went, it's true.
It's not wrong.
Blobby. Yeah.
And I also said him just being like, I want to sneak into the reopening of McDonald's, and I was like, that is the fattest thing you've ever said to me in your life. Oh, I need nugs. I need nuggies. Give me nuggets, please. Give me the milkshakes. Oh, come on. Please. No one does them like McDonald's. I'm loving it.
I guess I'm going to KFC.
Oh, bloody hell.
Darnell,
Not again.
Darnell, come in, you fucker. Darnell, I hear you're in. But yeah,
I hear you're a racist now, Colonel.
I hear you're in there, Colonel. Also, they had a Father Ted fucking caravan electric picnic, which buckled me. I need to send you the video afterwards. I don't know if you ever seen the scene with Father Noel Furlong where he's dancing in the caravan. Well, they basically recreated that in the fucking thing.
I'll be real with you. I basically have only seen I hear you're racist now, Father.
Slater, where are you when I need you?
But yeah, there we are. That's the fun little segment. Now time to get into the serious stuff. That being the six. Although I need to fucking get more water and clear my throat. But I'll just get through it. I'll gargle through it. The six take the stand. Sookie finds Sharon scrubbing the murderer off her door. The painted sign, not a picture of Linda's face. There we are, banger. As all of the six make their way through the square, Bernie quits the job and heads straight to put the pressure on Sharon. Mo gives Stacey advice to play dumb and act like she doesn't hear things, which is funny because sure, Mo, you can get away with it. You're fucking ancient. You know, if I'm just like, what did you say? All right, you're just being a dick now. Oh, I didn't hear you. You're a dick. It feels a bit toxic.
What makes this scene better is Harry obviously comes in and goes, "Who ate my bacon sandwich?" And
Mo sat there with a bacon sandwich on the fucking table.
Mo is me, Mo.
Who did that? Huh?
Ash,
couldn't be me.
He turns around. All he sees is just brown sauce dripping out of the sandwich while she takes a bite. Oh, taste
Harvey,
of
it
brown
mustn't
sauce.
be yours. You don't like brown sauce. Yeah, I do. It's my favourite sauce. Ah, I thought I didn't like it either, but bloody hell, this is a good sandwich. Who made this?
Who fucking made this? This is the greatest sandwich ever. If I can continue, I just love that scene.
It was a funny scene. I'm so glad that Mo's back. She's been used so well since she's returned. It is a vital bit of comic relief that is necessary. She nails it every time, especially her getting smacked with a plastic bat, which I will never forget.
My dad just when he seen that scene, he just yelled, "It's Sting!" Just for no reason.
Excuse me. Phil brings Albie along, and then he finds Linda and Sharon chatting. They prepare for the court trial and are feeling confident. The six are all in their colours, which some people didn't understand. Like, they're wearing the same colours as at Christmas, for fuck's sake. It's the whole point. It's a six trial. Like, guys, please. You guys all say that they're not thinking this stuff through. What? They're wearing the same colours? Bloody hell. Wow, good for them. What a coincidence. I bet nobody in the writing team thought about this or something. Reddit, probably. And Twitter as well. You're in the shit bin as well, Twitter. Fuck off. And you, Alan Sugar, saying that Kojo's not authentic and it's harmful to do when it's an autistic man playing an autistic character, you little bastard. Grow up, Alan Sugar. Grow up. You're fired.
Is he the gay man?
No?
Alright, I thought he was the one who had the TV show. Is that someone else?
He's on The Apprentice.
Oh, who am I thinking of? He had a TV show. He was gay. He was like overly gay. And he wore glasses.
Well, Alan Carr.
Oh, Alan Carr. Oh yeah, that guy. That's what I'm thinking of.
Why? You give the vaguest of fucking. No wonder you can't remember. Who's that gay man who's got the TV show? Alan. Fucking. Fuck's sake.
Alan, is that you?
Linda thinks Sookie and Kathy showing up would be suspicious. Linda learns they're all worried about her. Stacey is the first person to give evidence, and it's declared hearsay. Dean's lawyer. Also, I will say, I didn't really know what Dean's like lawyer, solicitor, defense, prosecutor, whatever the fuck. I didn't know what the fuck to call him. So I both call him a lawyer and a solicitor and the defense lawyer. I don't fucking know. He was defending Dean. That's what I mean. Dean's lawyer suspects that Stacey's an untrustworthy witness and brings up on that day. Dean was arrested and she visited the apartment. She uses Mo's tricks and acts like she doesn't hear him. So they just kind of decide, fuck it, it's useless anyways. It's not working. So Stacey successfully outsmarts the first solicitor. Next up is Sharon. They ask her what her relationship with Keanu was. She claims he is the love of my life. And this while Linda asks Johnny if she can be tripped up. He says he's proud of her for... He said he's proud of her. When Sharon explains how Keanu was rattled by his conflict with Dean, she cries for Keanu. Then Dean's defense just starts to imply that Sharon's a fucking slapper, which is quite funny.
I loved it. You're a slut.
Absolutely unreasonable. And there's also like Priya literally said, worst thing they've called me is a slapper. Like about 5 minutes before this happened. Well, probably like 20 minutes before it happens. They address the kidnapping of Albie and Keanu's part in that. Does that make Keanu a liar? He then figures out that since she never told Keanu about Albie's real dad, that means she's a liar as well. This spurs Bernie to lash out saying it was Sharon and leaves court, leaving Dean quite smug. She has an outburst saying, I did not kill Keanu and I am not a liar. The defense attempts it further by implying Grant Mitchell is the dad, so he has to continue to make Sharon look promiscuous. He then goes through Sharon's husbands, mentions Grant and Phil, and claims it speaks for her character. And the fact that he mentions, she's had 4 husbands, and then the fucking judge goes, oh my word! Alright, pipe down, you fucking... Come on. That's not your role to do. You're a judge, you're supposed to be impartial.
I wish I wish he hit a good old British. Oh, good heavens!
Like fucking. But yeah, the judge just out of line completely. Yeah.
Oh, good heavens!
And she says, "I will not let that man slut shame me," and she's sent back to the cells for contempt of court. This, as Linda arrives, she spots Sharon being taken away. Sharon tells Linda to stay strong and that it's all now on Linda, who says she's sorry and she can't. She fucking... Oh, fucking hell, I nearly dropped my word. See ya! I'm fucking leaving. She fucks off. She sprints away, leaving Sharon getting arrested and Linda fucking fleeing. What a funny what a great cliffhanger this was. You got anything on it?
It reminded me of, if you ever seen Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. You know that one scene of the cop where he's fucking sprinting? It reminded me of that. It's just fucking... It's just like... I loved it. I loved them. I know.
I'm gonna fetch some water real quick.
I'm not like slut shaming her, but I fucking love the judge basically going, "You're a slut. You're a dirty slut. You've slept with many women. Not many women. He's straight. Many men. How could you? Grant Mitchell, Phil Mitchell, Keanu Taylor, fucking slut." That is a proper fucking. That is a proper judge. I was basically like defending the judge, like saying he's a proper judge or jury, whatever the fuck he does.
He is the judge.
Like just
he is the judge, jury, and executioner. I don't know what that is.
I just like imagine being in court and like the fucking slut shame you.
Yeah, and the judge like fucking gets in on it. Like, sorry, mate.
He thinks he's a part of the group chat, but he's not. He's not included.
Like, sorry, mate. Not your fucking time.
But yeah, I loved it. I like obviously we'll continue on. But your thoughts so far?
Yeah, it is a good. Obviously, I will say, if you wanted our immediate thoughts, there is the Walford on Taps that came out. We did one for Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Where that should all have come out. Hope you enjoyed it. Obviously, we'll bring out Walford on Tap for the explosive weeks. Tuesdays was a good episode, but didn't really need a Walford on Tap. But yeah, so Linda flees as Sharon rots in a police cell. Linda is alone at the hotel, still sober, but here's a voicemail from Johnny. Sookie upsets Eve by choosing the 6 over Charlie's birthday party, which you mentioned before. As the 6 scramble to find Linda's whereabouts. Phil made a call to make sure he could see Sharon, and he learns that the judge has sentenced her for 7 days. He gives her a picture of Sharon and Martin Elby and tells her to remember what you're looking forward to. Also, I will say, not that it's particularly smart of me, but I did call what happens. I did exactly tell everyone who Sharon was going to meet in prison and why Chrissy Watts is back. Spoilers.
If you watch that back yet, guys, okay?
But I did prove it. I did fucking tell everyone. People, she's going to be involved with Teddy. She could be, but, you know, I highly doubt it. Phil says he's pulled some strings to get Linda resurfaced. He has trapped Linda into meeting the 6 at the hospital under the pretense that Johnny and Annie are in danger. Fucking hell. Or Ollie. It could have been either. Linda doesn't feel like she can do the trial, but the 6 remind how strong she truly is. This seems to be the reality check that Linda needed. She takes a stand, makes eye contact with Dean, and swears an oath. Linda claims she saw Dean on Christmas Day, how she saw Nish Panesar on the floor, so she went outside to get some air, how she saw him dragging something heavy towards the calf in a black tarpaulin. She reckons she didn't give these actions any thought till she heard about Keanu. The defense asks how certain Linda was at seeing Dean on Christmas and tries to trip her up when she first gave a statement to the police about Christmas night. How she did not mention seeing Dean drag this body to the police the night she gave the statement. Linda claims she was certain it was Dean and was certain he was dragging something. Dean's lawyer then chimes in. Do you like a drink, Miss Carter? He starts to imply that she's an alcoholic and to suggest her vision of things may have been blinded by the drink. Linda, firmly standing her ground, reiterates, I am an alcoholic, but I did not drink on Christmas Day. She has drank since, but she's been sober for a couple of weeks now, but she did not drink on Christmas Day and confirms her statement by saying she saw Dean drag that body into the cafe. Fucking hell. I write some wordy sentences. Fucking Christ. Ugh. This leaves Dean feeling helpless and the lawyer's starting to run out of ideas. Johnny hears the news and thinks it might be over. Dean is furious with the solicitor and feels they're losing the battle. The solicitor has tells him to control his temper, and it is very satisfying seeing that everything has swapped to put Dean in that fucking firing line. It's working how it's supposed to. Elaine asks Linda how Linda is and tells us she is so proud, and they go back into the court. In the court, Dean's solicitor tries to spin the tale that the case is motiveless. Dean answers the question. Did you have any reason to harm Mr. Taylor? No. Did you drag his body on the 25th? And did you kill Mr. Taylor? Obviously, all the answers are firmly no, but you can see Dean getting a little bit more rattled. The opposition asks if Dean had a dispute with Keanu outside of Stacey's bat van, then the aggression with Keanu when he was with Sharon. He says it was an empty threat. She then asks how long Dean has known Miss Carter, whether he could spot her in the dark at night, and whether he could recognise you. Dean starts to buckle under the pressure, and he claims this is all made up, that Sharon killed Keanu, and they're trying to frame him for it. He says she is lying and that they're all in it together. And finally, when asked why the murder weapon is in his flat, he says they must have put it there. And I'll immediately say and warn this, he then mentions sexual assault and rape. So that is what's being mentioned here. So skip like a minute. He says, because, and he takes one look at Linda and says, they must have put it there because I raped her. He's denied it. I've denied it for years, and they've done it for revenge. He says, send me down for the rape, but you are not going to send me down for a murder I didn't commit. And obviously, with this new information, the judge says this court is going into recess. In episode 3, you have a stoic police detective looking furious at Dean as Linda, Kathy, and the rest of the 6, and the police finally hears a confession from Dean on the record where he admits to the sexual assault of Linda Carter. The 6 panic as everything is going to be put under question again. Dean firmly believes it was a smart thing to do, but thinks it is a proper motive to turn the table of a trial. The solicitor degrades him for being so stupid. Now you've admitted to a 10-year-old rape and have covered it up for 10 years. It was very satisfying to see Dean is like, yeah, I've fucking done it. I'm fucking so smart, me. And then you just have the woman solicitor like, you do realise that you have fucking absolutely wrecked yourself here. You've absolutely fucked yourself over here, you idiot. Why would you do something so stupid? It's it's quite fucking it's very satisfying after all this time to see.
It's just like the immediate thoughts on this. You have from it. It is. I don't want to say a baller move. It is a. I guess it's a baller move where he admits to it and he thinks he's going to get away with it, but at the same time, the judges or the solicitors are like, no, you're a fucking tool. You fucking tool. Why would you do this? And he's, who's the man? I've done it. I've nailed it. I'm fucking smart. Who's the man? Who's the man?
You're a fucking idiot.
Like,
what?
Do you know that image of like the 3 lads at the Olympics and has like first, second, and third place? Like you see third place spraying the like champagne bottle all over himself. That is Dean. He's like, yeah, I've done it. Who's the man? Who's the man? I'm the man. I'm the man. It's like, what the fuck, Dean? Are you all right? So this is probably going to be the last of Dean until they bring him back whenever they can.
As far as we know, he's done after this week. That's his final scenes. They've done a farewell to him. But yeah, fucking good stuff. It's very good stuff, and it is satisfying to see and cathartic to see Dean finally get some comeuppance. The six argue about the ramifications of the new trial, and everyone ruins themselves worrying about that said trial. Sookie tries to speak sense into everyone, saying, "Look, we are where we are, but we have to enjoy the families we've worked so hard to hold on to." Dean is spewing. He's absolutely furious and cannot handle his solicitor calling him out. She questions if he has had a psychological evaluation, because he's that delirious at this point. Linda's absolutely mortified. Lily's angry at Stacey for missing Charlie's party. Jack calls the news for some news about Amy. Bernie's still working at the cafe after walking out on Kathy earlier. Felix and Priya gossip over Sharon and the crush. Elaine talks to Linda, who's furiously scrubbing the kitchen, and Elaine tells her to stop cleaning and freshen up for the first day of the rest of your life. Sookie is despondent. And we get the fucking high-res camera out, with Back to Black by Amy Winehouse playing, as she looks over the spot where Keanu died. Linda heads to the cellar, nearly drinks, throws it over and starts slapping herself in the face. She screams and has a breakdown. Then rings someone, just says, "Help me, help me." She called Phil, who is her sponsor, who finds her and gives her a hug and says, "I'm here." He listens, and Linda says, "I wish my Mick was back." She recognizes that all of the six are falling apart, but everything she is trying to teach her kids is wrong. She says she's no worse than Dean Wicks and believes she's a horrible person. She acknowledges how Keanu's dead and there's no going back, but he advised her that it's time to stop drinking. You're at rock bottom. Now you have a choice, whether to learn to live with yourself and raise your kids, or drink yourself to death. It's really good, because obviously Phil made that choice a long time ago. Everybody, like, people say they want drunk Phil back. Yeah, sure, you want drunk Phil back for the 2 moments where it's funny, but you don't want drunk Phil back for the rest of the, like, fucking 14 months that it goes on, and it is absolutely miserable and suffocating and awful. And obviously this is hold on, does it actually go further? No, and obviously Phil kind of talks around, and I mentioned this in The Wolf on Tap, but I don't know how many people noticed it. What caused Phil to start drinking in the first place? It was Phil struggling to deal with how him and Frank conspired to burn down the car lot, and in return for insurance payout, and that way they could get the money. Frank could cover all of his fucking money problems. But the main issue is when Phil torched the car lot, there was a man inside, and the man died. And that it was on Phil's conscience. And that was one of the reasons why Phil started to drink, because he couldn't deal with the guilt of killing a man. You know, pretty fucking similar in this situation where her struggling to deal with the grief of killing Keanu and the guilt also led her back onto spiraling and drinking again. That's a really poignant scene, and that extra bit of context I feel like makes it a lot better. Whoa. But yeah, it's nice that Phil and Linda have this dynamic. It's a really interesting one. It's a very good card to play, because you have Phil, who has done everything at this point, trying to turn the tides. Sookie finds Eve gone after she wasn't talking to her before she went out for a shower, and had to find Eve in the Albert. Eve is worried about Sookie blocking her out, and Sookie says, "Eve, you're the only person I want to talk to, but I just can't." And instead of just like normal, where Eve just gets angry and lashes out, she just kind of sits there and is like, "Okay, fair enough," and just supports her anyways. Which is, it's nice that it's developing. It's nice that Eve doesn't just be like, "Fuck you then," which, you know, probably would be a reasonable thing to have in this situation, but, you know, we don't tread old ground. Stacey buys Lily a photo album to commemorate her first year as a mum. She calls her an amazing mum, and it's a photo with so many first pictures of baby Charlie. They have a sweet moment where Lily admits Stacey is here when it counts. Lily sets the candlelight, and Stacey has a wish, which I would imagine is for this to be all over. With Linda having calmed down, she kisses Annie and Ollie on the forehead. Dean calls Jade and tries to gaslight her over his soon-to-be conviction for the sexual assault of Linda, and reiterates he is not a murderer. As Dean is getting transported, he spots Linda and calls her a bitch. She strides to the detective, and Linda requests it to be recorded. Also, I think that Dean spotting Linda and calling her a bitch is his last words. Like, I'm pretty sure that's the last we'll see of Dean for probably a long, long time, if ever.
I can I just say I love the detective here because he's just sitting down like his feet are up on the desk. He's just like, it's fucking 1 o'clock in the morning. Though. What do you want? Can a man not eat a delicious sandwich, please? I want to eat a delicious sandwich. He's just having a good time of his life. I like this guy. He's very cool. I don't know what his actor's called. But...
I don't know what the actor's called, but I think he's like DCI Arthur.
Oh,
Something like that.
oh, yeah. I love Arthur. He's a great character. I hope he
I wrote
stays.
it down somewhere. I don't fucking remember where, but it is somewhere.
Yeah, I hope he stays. Anyways, continue on.
Linda strides to the detective and requests for it to be recorded. She then admits to the detective, "It was me. I killed Keanu Taylor," and that is the Duff Duff of episode 3. Linda proceeds to give a very vague confession with no absolutes. It's just like, yeah, well, I think it was Boxing Day night where I may have found Keanu in the cafe where I found him furious and aggressive. I may have picked up the meat thermometer and stabbed him. She reiterates that she did it, but he's immediately like, fucking go home. It's like, fuck's it. You're clearly not thinking straight. This isn't evidence. This isn't actual evidence. This is a false confession. Johnny phones Kathy, who sets off some alarm bells, while the detective asks if she's been drinking and why none of the physical evidence supports her claims. He believes she may be overwrought, and if it is true, she may have a sentence on her hands. He tells her to go home and sort out her head, and she degrades him for not taking it seriously. Kathy yells at Johnny for implying she put the screws in. She tells him to have faith and that whatever Linda is doing is the right thing. Richie fills in Sharon over Linda confessing, and they recognise the need to figure out a new strategy, and then tell her she needs to warn the others. Linda gets back to the square and heads straight to the cafe to tell Bernie the truth. She claims there is no justice today, so just leave. Linda says it's not something I can live with and I can't drink myself to death. She finally admits Sharon did not kill Keanu, but she did. She apologises, but Bernie doesn't believe her. Bernie reels from the confession but needs to know why, but Bernie rages and grabs a hold of Linda. That's like, I don't know. I was just gonna make a fucking. What would get you to be that aggressive to go after something? Because she's like a fucking shark.
Like me,
Fair enough, because she did admit to fucking killing her brother. But
like
what
me.
would cause you to go at something so fucking hard?
So I'm just gonna do it so you can make a fat joke again. Someone steals my
I was
milkshake.
going to, but I didn't find a funny one.
Someone steals my milkshake. I'm like.
Like, it's fucking obviously it's a primal rage essentially. You know, you've just been told that all of this is fucking bullshit.
I can do.
And you actually killed. You've been lying to her the whole time.
I'll do a wrestling one that no one okay. You go up to me and go, I don't like Monty Brown. Just fucking right hook. No Piggy, no right hook, yeah. And then he said something else then.
But yeah, back to it though. She fucking goes for her.
What would you do? Well, actually,
that'd be me seeing people say that they're tired of affair. That EastEnders does nothing new, and they keep doing all of the same tired storylines. So, do you like the Walford Crush? No, fucking come here, you little shit. Had enough of you.
See,
it's just me with the EastEnders subreddit the whole time. Just fucking. Do you want to grow up?
See,
do you want to grow up?
See, for you it looks alright when you crunch your face, but for me I look like Robbie Rotten. Like,
And his chin's prosthetic.
yeah, fuck off.
Excuse me.
I know it's prosthetic, but like, look at it.
Oh, fucking hell. But yeah, Kathy organises the six are all panicking. Sookie decides it's over. Bernie strangles Linda exactly like Keanu strangled Sharon. But the difference is Bernie let her go. Linda starts to let Bernie understand what she did that night. What if she'd let it carry on? Bernie demands that she'll be going straight to the police, but Linda explains she tried. As Stacy, Denise, Kathy, and Sookie emerge into the cafe, they explain how Linda wasn't the only one there that Christmas night. They then explain Nish's involvement and how when Keanu strangled Sharon, what were they supposed to do? Linda saved Sharon's life. Bernie said they should have gone to the police, but they understood that they were all implicated. Bernie gives one look at Linda, saying, "You killed my brother, you covered it up, you let him rot in a hole, and you let me walk over my brother's dead body." She chimes in that you seriously want me to feel sorry for you, and then starts to comprehend that it wasn't her fault. Bernie thinks it's time to go to the police, but Sookie rattles her, saying you don't have the evidence. And Denise hits her right in the emotions, pleading for one moment to say goodbye to their children. And this is when it all gets a bit much for Bernie, and she darts out the cafe, sobbing uncontrollably. They confront Linda over the truth, and Sookie leaves her with a stinging, "Does your conscience feel better now, does it?" Fucking, gold. Fantastic. What a line. Like, obviously it's the right thing to do for Linda, but the fact that she's put everybody else's asses in the fire, fucking, delicious. Stacy gets back home and takes a moment to breathe and drink it all in, sobbing. Linda and Johnny sit in the pub with an unknown number ringing. She answers and asks for her to come in now. Denise drinks some wine. Sookie drapes a blanket over Eve. And it was arranged that Linda was going to get to see a chance to see Sharon. Sharon is furious, but Linda reiterates, saying she felt she had to learn to live with herself. She leaves her by saying, in the end, the truth catches up with you, which is entirely fucking correct. Bernie tries to find the words to explain how awful it's been, how she cannot do this anymore. Life keeps hitting her in the gut. This is her breaking down to Karen, and the saying, "You don't have to worry about me," they figure that a week away will make her feel better. She could not tell Karen the truth, and starts to wonder what matters anymore. Nothing can bring Keanu back. And as Sharon is led to the cells, the guard wanders to the next room, passing a packet of smokes to this prisoner. She pulls one, lights it up. Sharon has managed to end up in the same prison as the woman who murdered her dad, Chrissy Watts.
Dan Watts is back, baby. Dan Watts is fucking back.
So yeah, that's a fucking action-packed week. The Digital Spy had a great time figuring out how to clickbait it, because it went, Chrissy appears on the 9th. Guess who's here? She's out here 3 days early or 2 days early. How about that, you dickhead? Guess you didn't predict that one. Guess who predicted Chrissy to be fucking Sharon's cellmate in a way? Me. It was me. I fucking did it. She's not related to Teddy. Probably not. Fuck off. But yeah, it's a lot to unpack. It's a really good week of EastEnders. The ramifications, obviously, now Linda is likely going to be on the mend. Her life will start slowly piecing back together now, because she's not going to go to prison for Keanu's murder. Dean is now gone and away. And also, we didn't see Shirley, which now, admittedly, might be over. You know, I was believing that Shirley was going to be back 100% of the time, and now she's not here. I do kind of wonder if she is actually fucking coming back or not. Do you still think she's coming back?
When you least expect it, she'll appear. In the dead of the night, when you're sleeping in your bed, she'll appear. She'll fucking appear. But I know it's not funny, but I'm just imagining, like, when Chrissy Watts is sitting on her cell, Just some soundmate pulls up like a PNG of Den Watch, just fucking like flashes behind her, like, hello, I'm still alive, you bitch. But Chrissy Watch is now back. They did a teaser trailer for her and everything, so she is back. Not
It was just
promising.
her with a fucking like bread tube lighting. Like all the left like philosophy politics of YouTube where it's got that like purple and red light coming on in. That's what she's been putting, which probably is ironic if you think about what she believes in. Probably, I don't know. That's a fucking shit joke. I'm not fucking getting into it.
Fucking
But yeah,
hell.
she's back. She is an authoritative character. If we had to guess, she's probably only. It's a very short stint, right? So she's probably back for a week. Let's be honest. She's probably getting the Ryan Malloy treatment, where she rattles Sharon for a week, and then Sharon's obviously out of prison, so she's never gonna see her again, is she? Unless she is getting released soon, of course. But she also said that a lot of the scenes weren't on the set, so probably pretty likely that she's just in jail.
Fucking hell. Hey, that joke, fucking, I just went, oh shit. I hid myself under the table.
But yeah, it's a really exciting. It's a really cool fucking. I like it. I do like it. It's a very exciting thing to do. I look forward to seeing what the character's been up to. I'll stress it again. The character's been up to. I don't give a shit about the actress outside of the show. But this week was pretty good. It's ramping up the 6 ahead of Christmas. What will be the big Christmas fucking blowout? Who the fuck knows? That's what has made it different. Because as much as we say this has all been political, political. Don't know what the fuck I looked at. So I looked at someone on the side of the screen and it distracted me. I meant predictable. Everybody says that the 6th storyline has been predictable. Nobody's predicted anything so far. Nobody predicted Keanu except for your dad. Nobody predicted that Keanu's body was going to be uncovered in like, what, May? April?
My dad did.
Nobody predicted that the trial was going to happen in September. We thought that was going to happen at the 40th.
My dad did.
So, at the end of the day, it is a very, like I said, I'm eating out of the hand of Clenshaw. I am fully ready and enjoying all of it. And it's been a very good week, and it has been a lot of fun. I look forward to seeing what happens next week. Your thoughts on the week?
Sorry, mate, I'm just buckling myself because whenever I talk to my father about EastEnders, he's like, do you know what's that scene from Always Sunny in Philadelphia? The man with the like a whiteboard like full of like fucking
Yeah.
things.
You have Charlie Day with a board.
Yeah. He's like, no son. I'm making him sound like he's Alex Jones, like talking about the frogs turning gay. Like son, listen to me, son, listen to me. All right, Dad, what's wrong? Debbie's not dead. She's not dead. She's gonna come back at Christmas, son. She's gonna. Oh, he's gone. Is he gone? Yeah, he's like, son, now listen to me, son. Listen to me, son. She's not dead. She's coming back at Christmas. It's Debbie. She's coming back at Christmas. She's gonna haunt Reese. I'm like, Jesus Christ. She's dead. She's not dead. I'm fucking telling you. And I bet if she does come back at Christmas, my dad's just gonna turn to me and go, who's the man? How does that fucking taste, son? Yeah, I loved this week of EastEnders. But anything that, like, even if my dad didn't predict it, anything that does happen that's unpredictable, I'm just going to say my dad predicted it. Just so people get wound up. Like, no one predicted it. My dad did. But yeah, I loved it this week of EastEnders. Chrissy Walk got like 5 seconds of screen time. Perfect.
Yep.
I'm going to just, like, briefly say, just don't fucking complain about the actress and shit. So what her beliefs are.
She's playing a role.
She's playing a role.
She's doing her job.
All I'm going to say is don't fucking, just because you don't agree with what she stands for, don't hate on her performance simply because you do not like what she believes in. It's the same for J.K. Rowling. You can like her books. You don't have to agree with what she says on Twitter about fucking trans people. But if you like her books, you like her books.
Yeah, if I'm buying her books, I'm buying it from like a charity shop. I'm not fucking
Yeah.
supporting that bitch.
I know I stand very weird on that situation because, like, with J.K. Rowling, I'm not watching the movies. I do not give a shit about Harry Potter. And actually, like, Harry Potter's good, and I don't care.
I do like Harry Potter though,
I just like J.K.
but
Rowling has
fuck
ruined it.
J.K. Rowling.
Yeah. One thing that I did buckle me was when that court when she got sued, she fucking when she got sued, she deleted 27 tweets of her complaining about that woman, and it's like,
Yes,
J.K. Rowling, are you dumb or are you stupid? Because, like, you do know this is archive.
mate. Everybody's got that fucking. Everybody has those receipts.
Yeah, but as I was saying, don't hang on the actress simply because she believes in something different to you. Simply judge her on the performance of the character. Is all I'll say. Don't go on Twitter and go, bloody hell, they should fire, blah, blah, blah. I don't know her name. Tracy Ann Smothers, I believe. I think that's her name.
Tracy Ann Oberman.
Oh, man. Yeah. It's like, I don't care. Just please, on that, just do not fucking harass EastEnders or anything simply because she believes in something different. They're all going to believe in something different no matter what. Like, I could prefer porridge with milk and Ash could prefer porridge with hot water. Doesn't mean I'm going to shout on them on the podcast. Like, just again, please just judge the character is all I want. Don't fucking create a civil war that doesn't need to be created or anything like that. But on the finish to that off, I love the week. I love Chrissy Watts here. We're going to try and make sure we're just going to talk about the character. So don't comment like your fucking comments about like, oh, blah blah blah. Please, I just want to watch this show. But I loved this week of EastEnders. It was great to see Sharon. It was great to see Sharon be implicated. I loved Sharon being slut shamed. I know that's a horrible word that I've used throughout the podcast, but I don't care. It was so funny to me. I don't believe it. Like, you shouldn't shame women for how many times they get piped, but it was funny.
Why you gotta say it in the worst way possible?
How many times?
Women can enjoy fucking too.
Yeah, exactly.
But they get piped.
When they get
Look, nothing wrong.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. I don't mind. I just find it funny in that scenario. Like, you're in a court. You're supposed to be in a civilized manner.
It was quite unreasonable, yeah.
It's like if I went.
It's like that's in the handbook of how not to get involved. Shut the fuck up, judge. You're supposed to be an impartial fucking You're supposed to be judging this case on the evidence. Don't be a fucking prick.
Like how I describe this, and it buckled me how I described it to myself. Was it's like if I went to court and they went, okay, Piggy, so you're involved with this. Do you remember when you shit yourself when you were 12 in like public? Oh, what? What's that? Do you remember when you shit yourself? It's like, okay. It's just like, why are you bringing it up? But yeah, I love that. I loved everything. This week was a good week. It was a good week to show the trial. Surprised none of the episodes were held back because of TV and shit. But it was good, and I think you said your piece. I think it's
time, said our piece.
Time we do the awards.
Yeah, start off with a Keanu Taylor Award of Excellence.
Oh, the most wouldn't. No, what's yours?
Fucking Dean's fucking thought process at him. Like, I fucking nailed it. They're never gonna get me on this one. You've just implicated yourself in a crime. What? Who did? Someone shit in my pants and it wasn't me. But someone shit in there and it stinks. But it wasn't me.
He fucking Hulk Hogan himself where he went, no, I did have creative control in wrestling, but I did not use it once. It's just like, mate, who are you fooling? Well,
yeah, I will say as a whole, since it is Matt D'Angelo leaving the show, he's done a phenomenal job over the last year. He re-emerged as a character who, yeah, sure, has been impactful, but he wasn't even there for particularly long, and he is one of the most hated villains they've had in years. So I will say that Matt D'Angelo made it a really good job of making a fucking insufferable character. And he was really interesting with how he was played. And the actor did a fantastic job with it, so full credit to the actor. It's a shame to see him gone, but the time naturally wrapped itself up, and it's nice that he will finally be getting his fucking comeuppance after
Um,
all this time.
Yeah, my most one is the gavel the judge had. The thing he slapped down.
Fantastic. Underrated.
Underrated, has to go to Dean Wick, just because it's his final send off.
I'm gonna give it to Big Mo's advice, which actually worked really well. Like Stacey nailed her fucking part.
see, Ash doesn't know, but the next time I get butter on his fridge, and he's gonna talk to me and chastise me about it, she'll be like, "What? What you say? What you say there, love? What you fucking say?"
Fucking, that's the way to get twatted.
Just you see
You
me.
can't fucking hear me now. Fuck. Bit of my
I,
like Bernie. Fucking get here.
I show up on the podcast with a black eye, and he's holding like a fist off camera. And he's like, "Don't you fucking say anything. Don't you fucking say anything." Just like, he hit me, Judge. But yeah, Big Mo's advice. Yeah, for me to Team Nick.
And finally, who needs slapping down?
Oh, it also has to be Dean Wicks.
Yes. He finally admitted to his biggest crime, and he thought he got away with it. And mate, I even felt uncomfortable with a woman like Solicitor who he was with, because it's like he does not respect women, you know. He does not respect women at all. But yeah, Dean needs slapping down, and will need slapping down forever. But all in all, that's the podcast. I think this has been a pretty good one. It's been a fun podcast. We had a nice little back and forth, got some funny bits out of it, and also a good run through of these senders. If you like the channel, subscribe, join our memberships, and comment, and all the other shit. All in all, thank you for watching the podcast.
Don't forget to shout
We've
out.
been watching Walford.
Don't forget to shout out one member if we still have it.
Do we still? It may have run out.
But still shout them out.
Thank you for our one member, Belinda Slater.
Thank you, Belinda Slater. And we will see you in the next one. See ya. Bye bye.